Gary Sinise, it bears saying all of this is for you. You, after all, are the one who took your family's collective commitment and made it your life's passion. And thousands upon thousands of people thank you for it each and every day. So on behalf of all the wounded veterans whom you've touched and will touch still, thank you. 1,000 thank yous for this.
Run, Forrest, run!
It endures as a true classic. The tale of the innocent everyman with the low IQ.
Stupid is stupid does, Mr. Blue.
Who takes an unlikely and unforgettable and singularly American journey.
Life was like a box of chocolates.
A journey that has continued for the movie's Oscar-nominated supporting actor, Gary Sinise.
Try not to do anything stupid, like getting yourself killed.
AKA disgruntled amputee Lieutenant Dan. The part Sinise would realize he was born not just to play, but to live.
Who would have thought that, 20 years later, Lieutenant Dan would still play a part in my life?
A lot of actors might shy away from being so identified with one role, but it seems like you not just embrace it, it seems to have completed you.
There's something different about this part. I've walked into so many hospital rooms, and they look at me and they think I know what they're going through.
So this month, Sinise thought he'd get 50 of America's gravely wounded warriors out of their hospital rooms at Walter Reed Bethesda in Fort Belvoir. And with a private charter courtesy of American Airlines, took them on an all-expenses-paid trip to where it all began for Lieutenant Dan, Hollywood.
Welcome to Hollywood.
For men and women, such as triple amputee Brian Anderson, who lost his arm and both his legs in Iraq when his vehicle struck a roadside IED.
He's put together this event that will change a lot of people's lives and give people the mindset that, hey, you can still be a whole person for some of us that feel like they're not a whole person.
First stop,
Look over there.
Disneyland. ABC's corporate parent Disney threw open the doors of its signature home with a day at the park free of charge. And free of some of the burdens that occupy a typical day.
I'm not feeling any pain whatsoever.
But for some, this trip is especially meaningful. Jody Nelson, a U.S. Marine, has only just begun his fiercest fight against recently diagnosed stage 4 cancer.
You having a good time? Say, yeah, Daddy, you're having a good time.
Visiting with his wife Trinity and their 2-year-old son Caleb, Jody wonders if this family vacation will be his last.
The doctors told me I might live this many years or that many years, but I'm just going to fight it every day, and every day I'm able to spend time with my son, it's a miracle.
Jody, I cannot wait, and we will celebrate Caleb's graduation together.
I want to continue to fight every day.
His is a fight Sinise came to know well, hailing from a military family that served in every major U.S. conflict dating to World War I, service which Sinise himself would never experience.
I just missed the draft. The veterans in my family, what had happened to them when they came home from war, and I just felt such compassion for them. And guilt, too.
But he would form the Gary Sinise Foundation in 2011, which honors and aids those who've given so much of themselves for us. Is this, do you think, in a way, your service?
Yes, I just couldn't not do anything.
For Sinise, the collective well-being of America's wounded warriors is paramount. So the next day, he thought, why not take them there?
Welcome to Hollywood and Paramount Pictures.
The studio responsible for Forrest Gump and its producer, Wendy Feinerman, did what Hollywood seemingly does best, remake its backlot into an A-list heavy celebration, complete with a flyover and a pair of P-51 Mustangs.
Look up here.
I wanted it to be a Hollywood Salutes Heroes event, and I want Hollywood to be there.
And that's where we had the honor of meeting those whose lives are now as Lieutenant Dan's was on screen.
I should have died out there with my men, but now I'm nothing but a cripple.
Men such as Brian Anderson, who admits that he too grew bitter after his injury proved far more than just physically catastrophic. I know that you battled some dark days after what happened to you.
Well, with me, it was actually 4 months after I had gotten blown up. And then I met Gary at Walter Reed, and he called me Lieutenant Dan, and I'm like, that's not right. But I understand, and he portrayed that in a good way, because there's a lot of things that are frustrating about being in a wheelchair and not being able to do things the way that you used to be able to do them.
But it was the rare choice made at Movie's End, highlighting Lieutenant Dan's resolve rather than his rage.
I never thanked you for saving my life.
Which resonates still with those who Sinise himself calls a new generation of Lieutenant Dans.
There's a hopeful ending to the story of Lieutenant Dan that all our wounded veterans want, that they can be standing up again and moving on with life and doing all right.
Someone such as amputee Army Sergeant Kevin Gatson, who after 3.5 years at Walter Reed Bethesda, is now on a hockey team.
I don't feel like I have limitations. I feel like anything I want to do, I'm able to do. All it takes is me just saying I'm going to go do it.
1, 2, 3. Before it was all over, Sinise had one last surprise for his troops, gathered for a screening of the Oscar-winning film. A cameo appearance
Mr. Tom Hanks
by the man himself.
Hey, everybody.
My name's Forrest Gump. You can call me Forrest Gump.
We're all here because of Lieutenant Dan.
And for our veterans, an opportunity to take a cue from this year's Academy Awards and salute a movie hero of their own.
I'd like to say, Gary, I've probably seen you 20, 30 times, and every single time I see you, you can see the enjoyment like radiating off of you, that you're getting so much out of this, just as much as we are. So thank you for everything that you've done.
And on this night, the stars lining this Hollywood Walk of Fame were those among us who sacrificed for the freedoms we hold so dear.
The whole purpose is to make sure I send them home smiling. They should know that they're appreciated, and that's what we're trying to do here.